What is up, you guys? Welcome to the Off Label Podcast, your weekly dose of sanity, because the world is insane. How are you doing tonight, Drunken?
I am doing as good as I can be for a very messed up week.
Rough week for you, busy week for me. I hope everyone is it's winding down after whatever kind of week it was for you. But we've got a lot on deck tonight. Lots of craziness, such as Florida completely trolling Democrats with a new bill that is sure to get some laughs, but probably not stick. Also, San Francisco supervisor asking for more policing after voting for police to be defunded, not to mention a deadly fungus spreading through the U.S., mostly in California. So it seems like they're having a great time over there. Bunch of stuff with TikTok, and then a bunch of other stuff too. So let's get into it. I'm going more casual this week. And don't forget, guys, like the live on your way in. We are on my channel. We're only going to be over here for a short amount of time. So be sure to jump over to the Off Label Podcast channel and hit subscribe and like it over there and do all of the great things. Also, join us on Rumble after all of this for like a Rumble exclusive. And we're going to be talking about Fauci over there. So let's get into it.
Hold on, before we do that, I just want to address this because I might have messed things up as I was typing, waiting for everything to, getting everything into place. All right, Alex, here it is. The first story we're going to have on all channels. This is on my channel. This is on Ashley's channel. This is on Off Label, YouTube's, all three of them. This is also on the Voice of the People Twitch channel because I've been neglecting that. This is also on the off-label Rumble as well. Once we finish this first story, we're cutting to only off-label YouTube and Rumble. So I can go ahead and I got way too many open again. Which one is this one? That one's yours, right?
Just make sure to go subscribe to Off Label, and then you'll always catch.
I'll bring up the links in a minute. Go ahead.
All right. Are you going to open this up, or am I? There we go.
Nope, wrong one. There we go.
All right. So the ultimate troll. I saw this and I thought it was absolutely hilarious. I don't think it's going to stick whatsoever. But Florida Republican pitches bill to eliminate the Florida Democratic Party, which is a funny headline. It kind of cracks me up just because the premise of the bill is actually it's called the Ultimate Cancel Act, and it would cancel the filings of any party that previously advocated for slavery, which we all know includes the Democratic Party. So I think it's just kind of funny how every headline's like they're trying to cancel Democrats when really the premise of the bill is that. And I don't think DeSantis has I don't think he knew about the bill, or he definitely wasn't endorsing it or anything like that. They're trying to make it out to seem like he did, which I think is kind of funny. But yeah, it was who filed it. Can't remember his name. Can you scroll down? I have it pulled up, but I'm not going to start reading it. Nobody can see what I said.
I'm still trying to get everything started here.
I know. All right. A Republican in Florida's legislature has filed a bill that, if enacted, would eliminate the Florida Democratic Party. Also, guys, I'm really sorry for my voice. I'm coming out of a head cold, so I'm sure it's annoying, but you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. The Ultimate Cancel Act, filed Tuesday by State Senator Blaze Ingoglia, would require the state's Division of Elections to immediately cancel the filings of any political party whose platform had previously advocated for or been in support of slavery or involuntary servitude. The bill, called SB 1248, would require Florida officials to notify all registered voters who belong to any canceled parties that their parties no longer exist. It would also change their voter registrations to no party affiliation and provide procedures for those voters to update their affiliations to an active political party. So basically, if this like passes, it would eliminate the Democratic Party and force them. I think another provision of this is it would force them to create a new party basically with a name that is like extremely different than any other name that has ever existed. So I think it's hilarious. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. I don't think it's going to pass. What do you think, man?
Oh no, this ain't definitely going anywhere with it, but I just want to go ahead and now Florida has always been a weird place for news because of the Florida man stuff and everything like that. But I just want to give it up to the fact that you use it the Ultimate Cancel Act. Like that's the name of the bill. Like, and I even got the bill here, and we're gonna go through that here. The Ultimate Cancel Act. That is like I've always advocated for using their own tactics against them because they have no response to that. They can respond to the normal things, but if you start using their own things against them, they have no response. Now, here's the thing, and this is what I love about this so much, is they had to admit, like, the myth of, oh, the party switched long ago, and no, the Republicans were the ones that wanted slavery and all that. No, they had to straight admit it this time because of this. They had to admit, yeah, Democrats were the ones for slavery. Yeah, we created the KKK. Yeah, we did all that. They had to admit it because of this.
Well, the funniest part is like Democrats were like, this is fascism and stuff like that. And their favorite buzzword, of course. But I was just like, guys, like, how are you going to worm your way out of this one? Like, you're sitting here screeching, like, you're banking on nobody actually going and reading what this is and what it's for and what the provisions of the bill are. Like, basically any bill that comes out of Florida that's made by Republicans, nobody actually reads, so they don't actually know what's in it.
The Don't Say Gay bill.
Yeah,
it's actually parental rights and education, but they went with oh god,
it's literally like, hey, don't talk to kids about sexuality and like gender ideology and stuff like that. And they're like, how dare you? It's like, guys, come on, you can't keep pretending. Like, and I think they're about to Florida's actually about to expand that to high schoolers as well, which, like, I don't know, it depends on what they're doing there. I haven't looked through that one, but
I've left that up on screen, my bad, guys. But yeah, let's go ahead and read this. This is only 2 pages, so it's going to be quick. A bill to be entitled An Act Relating to the Political Parties, providing a short title, amending, requiring the whatever. That's just the start of it. Section 1. This act may be cited as the Ultimate Cancel Act. I love the name. It's awesome. Section 2. Subsection 9 is added to section whatever, blah, blah, blah. The division shall immediately cancel the filings of a political party to include its registration and approved status as a political party if the party's platform has previously advocated for or been in support of slavery or involuntary servitude. In addition to applicable procedures provided for that part, I don't even know. The following procedure must be also followed. If the division cancels the filings of a political party, the division must provide notice to each voter registered with the canceled political party that the political party has been canceled and his or her voter registration information will now reflect no party affiliation, and provide procedures for the voter to update his or her party affiliation to an active political party. Any political party canceled pursuant to this subsection may re-register with a department by filing a certificate showing the name of the organization and the names and addresses of its current officers, including the members of its executive committee, accompanied by a completed uniform statewide voter registration application as specified in that statute for each of its current officers and members of its executive committee, which reflects their affiliation with the proposed political party, and a copy of its constitution, bylaws, rules, and regulations. The name of the organization must be substantially different from the name of any other party previously registered with the department. The filing may not be submitted later than 6 months before any election in which the political party seeking to register wishes to nominate candidates for public office. This act should take effect July 1st of 2023.
They're
Words,
like, let's
stricken
go.
information.
Get in here. Let's do this. I just think it's so funny. It just made me laugh so hard when I saw this.
They're just
'Cause I
having
was
fun
just
in
like,
Florida. That's all it
bro.
is now. I mean,
Yeah, no, they're just like, you know what? We're gonna really you guys you guys don't like us. We're gonna really mess with you. Like,
what I
I just
find
thought that was
funny is
hilarious.
it's like, okay, so you cancel the Democrat Party, that they can be no more in Florida. Of course, they're going to be in the other 49 states, but in Florida, you can't call yourself Democrats. What are you going to call yourself at that point? I mean,
Well,
what else
yeah, well
can you be?
that's the thing too, is like they have to come up with a name that's like very different, that's substantially different, it says, and it's just like, okay, good freaking luck, like, and nobody's gonna know. I think that would actually like give libertarians maybe a big hand up. Maybe this should just across the board, like, I don't know, I'm just sick of the two-party system too. Like, I'm sick of only two options, and it's kind of all geared to make sure that there's only two options, and that those options are very, you know what I mean? Like, it's just a bunch of bullshit. So, to be
Well,
quite honest,
there is a problem with this too. The indentured servitude point. That was kind of like, how do we keep slavery without keeping slavery? Republicans were involved with indentured servitude as well, so they would have to cancel themselves.
yeah, I don't know. Like,
Like,
I would have to revisit some of that and figure out, like, I don't like. Again, I don't think it's going anywhere. I don't think
oh
the
no.
bill is going to pass whatsoever. I feel like this guy was just like, let me see. Let me just see how crazy we could get here. What is up, you guys jumping in here? Hello, hello, hello. Make sure to like the live, guys. And I don't know, this is like, what, our third show now? I feel like we're getting better. We're getting better.
Yeah, we had the pre-pilot, and then last week we had, yeah, this is third. And then we got let's see, Stuart James of Content. Ashley, when are you getting merch?
Bro, merch is such a big thing. If you guys want merch, I could totally get some. I have some ideas, but yeah, I know a guy, or I know a girl who does make shirts and stuff, and she's like amazing at it, but she's always super busy. So I was like hoping to talk to her about it, but I don't know. So I'll have to figure it out if you guys are interested, but you got to let me know, because I'm not going to just make a bunch of merch and then everyone's like, this is stupid. So this person, Joseph Santos, there have never been only two options. You can vote for any legal adult. Yeah, but it doesn't do anything. Like, you writing some random person in doesn't do anything. Like, they're not gonna win. You know what I mean? They don't have any backing behind them. Nobody knows about them. So just one of those things. But speaking of Florida, and speaking about DeSantis, because, when you're talking about Florida, you're obviously going to bring up DeSantis at some point, but DeSantis is claiming that he could beat Biden and win the presidency because Biden has failed the country. And I don't think anyone would contest with that.
No. I mean, I could beat Biden. I'm pretty sure, even in this little group, if I ran, I could get more votes than Biden. Just give me a platform to do so, and I just point out all his stupidity. I don't even know what's going on in this country anymore, but I'm sure he doesn't either. So
there's too much going on, man. I feel like I have trouble keeping up with the latest stuff. But yeah, no. So Ron DeSantis claimed he could beat Joe Biden if he ran against him in the presidency in an interview with Piers Morgan recently on his show Uncensored on Fox Nation. DeSantis expressed confidence that he would win if he were to run in 2024. But Piers wrote this all down. I don't know if this actual interview has been released yet. I haven't seen it pop up, and I've been busy watching TikTok stuff. So
apparently,
but yeah,
because you got one from Josh here.
Oh. Oh, whoops. Sorry. I'm like clicking on stuff that I shouldn't be clicking on. My bad. Love you, Ashley. Your TikToks are amazing. Thank you so much, Josh. Really appreciate that $1.99 super chat. Also, guys, make sure to remember to go flip over to the Off Label podcast channel because we're going to be shutting down the feed for my channel here momentarily, probably after this one. So jump over there. Go like the live over there. Let's get subscribed. And then you'll be able to tune in every week. We're just kind of doing this to make sure everybody knows about it and knows we're over there. But yeah, so DeSantis laid out his roadmap for how he expected to win the general election, pointing to his success with independents in Florida in the 2022 midterms. He won the demographic by 18 points. You can't win with just Republicans, he said. You got to win with independents. And you need to convince some of these Democrats, which I was able to do in Florida, because they are not woke. They don't like some of the nonsense going on. Amen. And they want their streets safe and they want quality education. So I think I could appeal to people across the canvas. And I very much agree with that. And then I think like Trump got brought up during this little back and forth here, but he was, where is it? I'm kind of skipping around.
Well,
but yeah, so he basically was just saying that he was like focused on, like, he was like, if I'm running, I'm just going to focus on my actual opponent, not like the Republican, like not going toe to toe with them, which I think is a much better tactic than what Trump's doing right now with all the smear tactics.
It definitely is. And we are actually going to hold up right here. Ladies and gentlemen, you have the links there, the YouTube and the Rumble as well. Go ahead and switch over to that. We will be cutting the feed for Voice of the People, Freely Ashley, both YouTube and Twitch. We are going to off label only. We're trying to drag y'all over there because this is where we're going to stay with this. But yeah, we also got on Rumble, Liberty or Death podcast. It says Senpai 2024 VP is Ashley. I don't know about that. I think she would make a better president than I would, but anybody could beat Biden. So yeah,
I wouldn't even be old enough. In 2024, I wouldn't even be old enough.
You got to be 35. Damn, that would have to be me. Okay. So I could be the Biden puppet and you just do your thing and I'll just be the face of it and snap at anybody stupid.
No, I would never. I could never be the president of the United States. No, thank you. I couldn't. Have you seen what happens to people when they become the president? They age like 100 years in 4. Okay? Like,
yeah.
I cannot do that.
Hey, look, I'm 37 years old and I'm already starting to get gray hair. So let's bring on the Picard look going on.
Don't jinx me over here. I'm living my purple-haired best life. Okay? There's probably some type of gray. I don't know. I don't notice them though, so it's fine.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be cutting the feeds there. Make sure you're going over to the off-label YouTube or the off-label Rumble. Mind you, you probably want to hit up the Rumble channel so you don't have to switch again, because one of the last stories we always have a finishing Rumble only section. So if you don't have a Rumble, it's definitely worth it because we can say a lot more over there than we can say here. And we are digging into Fauci getting roasted in the hood over there on Rumble. So y'all go over there. You got the link here. I will give it one more time for you guys, and then we will give a minute or two for y'all to cut the feed or for y'all to switch over. That is the YouTube right there. This is the Rumble. I'll go ahead and hit those up. Join us over there. Yeah, because I don't want to affect Ashley's channel, and mine's already shadow banned, so it's whatever on that one. So yeah. I got 2 hard strikes for the same thing. All right. Talking about the same thing, not the same actual video, but yeah.
Yeah, it's just a nice way to like condense everything and have it kind of separate from, all my stuff. And I would like to at some point start doing lives on my own on my channel, but we will get there because I don't know, it's weird. It's weird like talking to a camera. I don't know. So But anyway,
Well, you
yeah.
can still have that chat there, and I can just bring up everything for you and just keep myself out of camera range and mic muted for all of that. But yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead
we
and
got
move,
this week.
everybody. We got some stuff. We got some more things. We're definitely going to continue the conversation with this because I got some things to say, and I'm going to try to be nice, but I don't want to. I don't want to inflict damage on her channel.
My channel is a safe zone, okay, when it comes to crazy things you say. So,
Hey,
all
you
right,
wanted
guys.
this. You wanted to do this with me, so
Yeah, well, it works.
it does.
You're loud and crass, and I'm less crass. I don't know. I'm louder, but anyway, guys, go over to the Off Label YouTube channel, and we are gonna see you over there, okay? And we're gonna cut feed for Freely Ashley like right now. Thanks so much.
Move that one. Save the changes. Remove mine.
Yes,
Save the
verbally walk
changes.
us through the process for sure.
I'm gonna do that. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna leave Twitch up because I don't even care about Twitch. Twitch has always been like a non-thing, so that's gonna be a thing. But yeah. So
Okay. So, yeah. And speaking of crazy stuff going on,
hold on.
and
Hold on.
karma.
I
What?
just want to say, like, I don't care who you are. Gavin Newsom can beat Biden. And I guarantee you he's going to be the Democrat frontrunner. And I'll tell you this why. He has disappeared from the news. He literally has. Ever since they tried to recall that man and he beat that, have you heard anything about him?
Well, no, that's the funny part. But I already knew that that's what was going to be going down. Like, of course they're going to try to run Newsom. Why wouldn't they? I don't know. I mean, like didn't Biden say he was going to run again? I don't really believe that though. Like, I don't.
Yeah, Biden said he was going to run again, but his wife is like, nah, your LDS is just going to stay. No, we ain't doing this. So he's going to be. There is too much going on with him. There's no way.
He's gonna be so
there's no way
old.
he can win at all.
He's gonna be so old, bro. I'm so sick of all these old people. like, like we need somebody younger.
Hakeem Jeffries is the first person to lead any political party, Democrat, Republican, Independent. Hakeem Jeffries is the first person to lead a political party since the end of World War II. That happened September 2nd, 1945. Take that into perspective, people. Everybody else that has led any other party was born before September 2nd, 1945. This was before the internet. This was before your phones. This was before most of you were born. Hakeem Jeffries, the Democratic leader, is the only person to lead yet. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, no, we just need new blood in there. But it is interesting how the policies that Democrats advocate for always seem to shoot themselves in their own foots. Much like what's happening in San Francisco, because the Supervisor Hillary Ronan recently was begging for more police presence after she literally voted to defund the police in 2020. Roll that one. Yeah. Like, talk about instant karma. Which is like probably not best to make a joke about, just because like this is affecting people's real lives, obviously. And so like totally get that, but hilarious of what she's been saying. So San Francisco Supervisor Hillary Ronan begs for more police in her district after voting to defund in 2020. Go down for me.
Hold on. Let's. I want y'all to listen to this real quick. Let's just play this. This is like 53 seconds.
Yeah, for sure. Go for it.
Just listen before we get into any of this.
We've been begging for more footbeats and for more officers in the Mission District, I've been begging this department to give the Mission what it deserves in terms of police presence all year long. And I have been told time and time and time and time again, there are no officers that we can send to Mission. It hurts, and I feel betrayed by the department. I feel betrayed by the mayor. I feel betrayed by the priorities of the city. It is not this Board of Supervisors' priorities. We want our residents safe. We don't want our residents getting shot, getting assaulted, getting killed, because in the Mission, Chief, it's not theft. In the Mission, people are getting shot and killed. In the Mission, people are getting beat up. In the Mission, people are dying.
All right.
Meanwhile,
I can tell you straight off, fuck you, because this was August 16th, 2020. I want to make it clear that I believe strongly in defunding the police and reducing the number of officers in our force. For decades, we've had an imbalance in our city's budget, with hundreds of millions of dollars going to San Francisco Police Department to have them do work they are not qualified to do. Yet now, 3 years later, you are begging for more cops on your streets. Weren't we saying this shit not too long ago?
Well, you know what's also messed up is, so in this article it says that there was an incident where, like, San Francisco is so incredibly short-staffed that a burglary call placed into 911 the police couldn't respond to until 15 hours later. 15 hours. Like, that's insane. And I've never heard of that long. It says where
was it?
It's in here somewhere. Oh, the San Francisco Police Department has struggled with lack of staffing for the past few years. It's like right before the photo of her tweet, the screen grab of her tweet. It says in February, officers responded to a burglary more than 15 hours after the 911 call. While the SFPD is short-staffed and our response times have been negatively impacted as a result, a response time of over 12 hours for a call of this nature falls far short of the department and public's expectations. Obviously, and I've never heard of a response time being quite that bad. It's just insane, and it just goes to show you that like they have no one. They have no one, and they're trying to keep up. And obviously, like, a burglary is like a lower priority than like a violent attack or something like that. But it's just crazy.
Yeah,
and it's crazy to sit here and say that you've been betrayed, that you feel betrayed, which is very narcissistic and very conceited, in my opinion. Like, I feel betrayed because you are not like. How about like maybe not advocating for defunding the police?
Maybe
and maybe this wouldn't have happened to the degree it has. They're obviously already short-staffed. They're obviously already struggling. But when you cut funding to police departments, it doesn't help anybody. It just leaves everybody without someone to call when the shit goes down.
Liberty or Death podcast says Democratic Party became the new NWA. Yes. But no. What gets me, though, is these are the same people. These people who were advocating for defunding the police, who actually did these things, are now saying that there's a problem with it. And all of a sudden in the media now, it's, well, Republicans wanted to defund the police. That was all on them. Are y'all buying any of that bullshit?
That's such a crazy gaslighting. Like, let's just try to we're going to try to reframe history real quick and act as if we weren't the ones for over a year preaching about wanting to defund the police and how the police were so evil and racist and all of these horrible things. And they're targeting Black communities. Well, like, the reality of it is they're going where the crimes are, guys. Like, let's focus on perhaps like cleaning up these communities and giving people things to do and positive things for kids to do, because that's like, when you're a teenager and you don't have anything positive to go do, you're gonna do a bunch of dumb stuff and illegal stuff, and that's what happens. Like,
right? I mean, well, okay. Look, in San Francisco, in in California, as it goes, like there's always been problems with this kind of thing. You know, you had the LA riots back in the 90s, you know, the Rodney King beatings, things like that. You've always had this. This is pointing at California, you can make a story for anything you want because of California. But what strikes me so hilarious is like the whole gaslighting of everything that we've seen, like, well, the party switched and all this and all that and everything. Like it's kind of easy to do because you can't go back without, going back and doing a lot of research. You can't debunk that easily.
Mm-hmm.
But fiery, but mostly peaceful is all you need to bring up, and everybody knows what the fuck you mean.
Well, it's so crazy too. It's like when you go back, like you can't really even share any of the footage from the 2020 riots because it just gets taken down. Your accounts get flagged, you get blocked. Like I tried to do on TikTok, they immediately took that down. Like they were like, absolutely not. And it's just crazy to me. It's like, so you're not allowed to show what actually happened. So then they can just make up whatever it is. And eventually people will literally just forget. They'll literally just like, you hear the lie so many times, people just end up believing it. Media is a form of info that can be arranged to either hinder or help. But when we let people who are bad inside and out use the mainstream media, we get stuff like this. Get rid of police. Right?
He's just saying we get stuff like this, like the get rid of police thing. Yeah, Butternut Chunch there. I've got to hand it to him. He's one of the youngins that we talk to. This dude's not even able to drink, and he understands damn near everything that we throw at him, and that is impressive. I love Butternut there. Yeah, he's a young buck. Him and Smile Tut, he's a young buck. They've got their own thing that they're about to start up, and I'm kind of excited to see what they're doing with themselves. But yeah, the fact that youngins like that can hang and can understand is a bad sign for any political party, because they're the ones who are going to be, of course, the most impressionable, but they're also the ones who are going to call out your shit.
Well, I mean, if more of the younger generation was in tune with stuff that was going on, then we would be in a much better situation. That's kind of the problem, though, is like a lot of young people just aren't. Huh?
Would we though?
I mean, if people fully understood and grasped the reality of things, yeah, we would be. But the problem is like that's exactly the problem with gender ideology, is that it's so far removed from reality at this point, and it's convincing an entire generation of kids, essentially, just like young people, from teenagers to early 20s and stuff like that. Like, it's completely dismantling the way that people view themselves. And if you dismantle the way that people view themselves, well, they can't focus on anything else anyway.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of
but if we had this new generation that's coming up running everything, we would be totally screwed. Like there are a lot of good young people out there who understand. Like I got a kid just turned 18 not too long ago down the street, and I talked to him a little bit, and he seems to understand. But the person on the other side of the street, to me, still thinks that Kyle Rittenhouse killed black people. So
yeah, well, that's the problem, because they are tuned into a media outlet that promotes propaganda as if it is fact, and they never issue corrections. And if they do issue corrections, it's hidden and nobody knows about it, and blah blah blah.
It's not only that; it's just Twitter. That's all they pay attention to for the news. They hear shit like that. Who is that?
Twitter is such
Alejandro Carballo woman who's,
oh my gosh,
spews out half that shit. Everything she says is completely wrong. Everything she says.
Yeah, Alejandra Caraballo or whatever. It's a trans woman, and they blocked me, and I never interacted with their account. Like, so they have a block list.
You hitting something now?
No, yeah, no. I'm on like some bot block list somewhere, and they just go in and they block a bunch of accounts for them and stuff like that. And it's just so silly to me. It's like, bro, like, I was like, I've never like, I was like, I had to like ask somebody. I was like, who is this? Because I've never interacted with this person ever, and they blocked me. But Twitter is just such a weird place. Like, I don't know. I've been using it, and like, I like it, but it just gets annoying sometimes. The people that like, they just spew nonsense. It's just like, or they're just contrarian all the time, or it's like you say one thing and they'll be like, so what you're saying is, and I'm like, no, that's literally not what I said, bro. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
And all I
So
have
it's
to
just,
say to that is literally, okay, you were using me as a proxy to argue with yourself. This whole conversation is done because you're not even trying.
I mean,
That's it.
essentially, I don't entertain it for very long. I don't go back and forth with people for very long anymore. I used to be one of those people who, like, I would, if you were responding, I would, go back and forth with you pretty respectfully. But at this point, I'm just like, I don't have time or energy or the want to do the football of bullshit with you. So, but yeah. But anyway,
I do because I
yeah.
need that entertainment, but I can't because I'm permanently suspended on Twitter.
No, I just like it.
Surprise!
Just irritates me. But I mean, I like Twitter, and some people who I really enjoy are on there, and I mean, like, I'm never gonna get rid of it because like Jordan Peterson follows me, so like I'm never getting rid of my Twitter. Like, never gonna happen now. But
Yeah, I remember you literally freaking out when you were just like, you're like, oh my god, look at this, look at this, look at this. I could just imagine you jumping around your house.
I was pretty excited. It was I'm playing it real cool right now. I was like fangirling out. Which is kind of funny because he goes off the rails on Twitter really bad sometimes, and people are like, oh, he's not doing well. And I'm like, I think he's just doing what everyone does on Twitter and just shit posts and pisses everybody off. And I don't know. It's like it's a tactic on Twitter. I'm not really a fan of it though, because I just think I don't know. I like genuine conversation, and I feel like everybody on there is like, I'm just ready to fight you all of the time. Like, calm down, like, Jesus. But
wrong voice. Yeah, but
yeah.
like, I feel like Peterson himself has just been like, he's been attacked so much every aspect of his life. Like, he is me, just a lot more colored. Because if I felt like if he was unleashed, I could literally see myself in that man a lot more. Because the dude can be savage.
Well,
And
yeah.
even on Twitter, when he's savage, it's just like, I feel like you're trying so hard not to push the boundary at this point. Because you could do more.
No, he knows exactly what he's doing. He's incredibly smart. But people
It's
think
like
that just because he went through
Matt
all that
Walsh.
shit with the benzos and stuff, he's like, there's something wrong with him. I'm like, no, I think he just had a really hard couple years of his life, and he's just getting back on track. Because when you go and watch his interviews, he's the same person. Like, he's perfectly fine. So I don't know. It's just kind of funny. I think a lot of people on Twitter don't like. They'll see what somebody's saying, but they don't go actually like watch interviews and watch their content and stuff like that. So they're missing like an entire huge part of the picture type of thing. But
Right.
but yeah, I think San Francisco is in they're not doing well, guys. They're thoughts and prayers to San Francisco because they're not doing well, especially also with this new deadly fungus that has been plaguing everywhere. Let me pull it up on my end here. Because like shit's just going crazy. We're yet another thing to be afraid of, I guess. More fear. I was going to say something different, but I'm going to refrain from using that word. Deadly fungal infection spreading at an alarming rate, CDC says. The fungus, a type of yeast called the Candida auris or C. auris, can cause severe illness in people with weakened immune systems. Which is interesting that they're kind of like, I don't know, I feel like they're playing this up pretty heavily. But we'll see. A drug-resistant and potentially deadly fungus has been spreading rapidly through U.S. healthcare facilities, a new government study finds. Sorry, I'm very stuttery right now. The fungus, a type of yeast called Candida auris or C. auris, can cause severe illness in people with weakened immune systems. The number of people diagnosed with infections, as well as the number of those who were found through screening to be carrying C. auris, has been rising at an alarming rate since it was first reported in the U.S. Researchers from the CDC said reported Monday. The increases, especially in the most recent years, are really concerning to us, the study's lead author, Dr. Megan Lyman, chief medical officer in the CDC's Mycotic Diseases branch, said in an interview, we've seen increases not just in areas of ongoing transmission, but also in new areas. The CDC's new warning, published in the Annals of Internal Medicine, comes as the Mississippi Department of Health is fighting a growing outbreak of the fungus. Since November, at least 12 people have been infected with C. auris, with 4 potentially associated deaths. And then there has been ongoing transmission at 2 long-term care facilities, although cases have been identified at several other facilities in the state. Unfortunately, multi-drug-resistant organisms such as C. auris have been more prevalent among our highest-risk individuals, such as residents in long-term care facilities, which it also had said that this tends to spread faster within hospitals, actually, hospitals that don't have good, like cleaning standards, basically, like dirty hospitals, which is really weird to me. It's like, what? The fungus can be found on the skin and throughout the body, according to the CDC. It's not a threat to healthy people, but about 1/3 of people who become sick with C. auris die. Again, from weakened immune systems already, and then contracting this. In the CDC report, researchers analyzed state and local health department data on people sickened by the fungus from 2016 through December 31st, 2021, as well as those who were colonized, meaning that they were not ill, but they were carrying it on their bodies with the potential of transmitting it to others who might be more vulnerable. The ultimate colonizers, you might say. The number of infections increased by 59% to 756 from 2019 to 2020 and or 2020. Yeah, 2020. I said that right. Okay. And then by an additional 95% and then in 2021. So yeah. Okay. So it went from 756 to 1,471. Pretty good increase there. The researchers also found that the incident of people not infected with the fungus but colonized, the ultimate colonizers, by it increased by 21% in 2020 compared to 2019, and by 209% in 2021, with an increase to 4,041 in 2021 compared to 1,310 in 2020. There's a whole lot of freaking numbers, but basically it's getting worse. It's getting a lot worse, guys. So like, freak out. Not really. Don't freak out. Don't panic. Yeah. So, oh, goody. It's in Michigan. Yay.
Right. That sounds
great.
Worse in Michigan than my state. They have Alabama here. No, but I just want to say, like, okay, fungus, as far as that grows, it lives in damp, musty kind of areas. You know, it's all right. It also lives in filth. Now, are we surprised that California has the biggest fucking numbers? I mean, don't they have an app called Snap Crap where you see where human feces is all over the road in California?
Oh my God, bro. Like, well, yeah, I mean, they're over here like, guys, this is becoming a problem. Yeah, your streets are becoming a problem too, but you don't seem too worried about that. Like, what are you talking about? And it's funny because like, so this article actually mentions The Last of Us, which like I never either played or watched The Last of Us enough to like remember any of it. But there's a book. It's called The Girl with All the Gifts. It was made into a movie. I think it's actually like a British movie. I think it came out of the UK. And it's a really good story. It's a good book and a good movie. But it's funny because it's about essentially like zombie type outbreak that creates an apocalypse, and it stems from a fungi. And the spores infect everybody. It's really it's actually really good. You should check it out.
It's a game in the movie, but the game was amazing.
No, I know.
Show,
The
not
Last of Us
so
is a
much.
game. I know. I watch
Yeah.
people play video games a lot. Like I watch my husband play video games. There's some stuff I can't play. It's too scary. Like Dead Space, too scary. Can't play it. We'll watch him play it. Can't play it. So that's what
All
I
right.
meant by that.
But yeah, it's like, all right. I don't know what's happening in Texas for this to be a thing in Texas, but it's like the nastiest people in our country are the ones that are actually having this, like California. I think that's Nevada. Texas, I don't know why y'all ain't washing your asses. Florida, Illinois, New York, like there's all kinds of messed up things that happen in
Well,
Florida.
the problem is it's been spreading through hospitals mostly, and dirty hospitals, and from what I read in that article earlier anyway. But
Well, yeah, but I mean, all right.
like
Wash
it
your
paints more
ass.
of a problem. It paints more of a problem with actual hospitals and them not not actually cleaning, and like care facilities too. Like I would say, like long-term care facilities, because that's where the most amount of people with weakened immune systems are going to be, is hospital, elderly homes, that kind of thing. And I think it's much more common in like senior care homes than anywhere. Like people you'd be like absolutely shocked by the horrible quality of care in most of those places.
Yes, as somebody who has worked in nursing homes, like oh my god, the smell that comes from these places. It's like, all right, there is one part. I know it sounds bad, but it's kind of a funny story, but kind of not at the same time because of the situation. Like, we went to a nursing home that was kind of like a mental institution for old people, and we were working in there. And we left one of our coworkers to do some work in the network closet. And as we were wrapping up, and he was just like trying to get his end done, this woman starts screaming out of nowhere, "Fire! Fire! Fire! I'm burning! Fire!" And of course, there's no fire going on, right? This dude walks in like, it sounds bad, and it really is, but you have to understand the context. Like, this person does this on a daily basis, at the same time, every single day. But this dude walks in and he's like, "You've been burning for 2 weeks. When are you gonna die?" I'm just like, damn.
Jesus.
And then he comes out and I'm like, "Dude, what, hold up. And he's like, "You don't understand. No, this person's been here for years now, a couple of years now. And for the last month or so, they've been screaming about a fire in their room. This woman is literally just like strapped to the bed kind of situation. Like, it's a mental problem with her, but
Well,
the smell that comes from her room is just horrible. And they try to clean it as much as they can, but it's like she craps and then flings it all over the place, even being strapped in her own bed. So yeah, it could be a problem with them.
I don't know. Like, yeah, there's a lot of things. I think that there's a lot of care workers who end up getting really callous and they don't care and they get lazy and they just don't care about people anymore. And it's actually really sad
That's
and
true.
frustrating. And I've seen so much abuse videos come out of those places. And I've had friends to work in them and see it for themselves and report places and get them shut down and stuff like that. So it's a whole lot of stuff. But anyway, yeah. So it seems like, for the most part, this fungal infection, it's not going to really affect most people except those who are already sick, already compromised. But that does kind of worry me some bit with some of the stuff we're seeing from side effects from a certain jabby jab and potentially weakening people's immune systems just in that. So like, but yeah.
If y'all only knew, go back to the first episode on Rumble and just watch the ending of that. The last, I think it was like 45 minutes to an hour. Yeah, it's quickly becoming a thing, and people now there are five cases, 5 suspected cases.
Yeah, for sure.
In the jab versus 0 unjabbed. But
yeah, but yeah, I think the crappy part about this is like it's drug resistant. So I feel like I don't know. Hopefully they can just figure it out, contain it. I don't think it's going to be a big thing. I don't think it's going to be, I feel like monkeypox got played up real fast, real quick. And then I just said the same thing twice. Sorry. But I feel like monkeypox got played up so quickly and then it just disappeared. And I don't think this is even going to get played up at all. I think they're just like, hey, this is happening.
It didn't disappear. It's still out there. The reason why you don't hear it anymore is because it's in the gay community, and that's it. 97% of all cases were in the gay community, so they can't bring up anything that demonizes the gay community because they played that up so hard.
Yeah, for sure.
It's still out there,
which is frustrating. But speaking of, I can't really twist that one.
No, I don't know how that's going to work.
Speaking of what people are talking about, here we go. That's a nice little segue. We got TikTok news here because the CEO testified before Congress, and TikTok CEO tells Congress that the app is safe and secure and should not be banned, which I have a lot of thoughts about this that have been pissing people off on Twitter all day. That's been a fun one. But I don't think it should be banned, and I have a lot of reasons for that. But TikTok CEO Chu plans to tell Congress on Thursday that the social media platform is safe and secure. So this was an article from the 22nd that I pulled. I have been watching the hearing, and I've gotten through like 2 hours of it. It's about 5.5 hours long, so it's a long one. I got through 2 hours of it this morning, and man, it's painful. In his first appearance before Congress, Chu will also confirm that TikTok, not the TikTok, now boasts 150 million users in America, a 50% increase since 2020, which, it really took off during 2020 because everybody's locked in their houses. And what else are you going to do besides scroll on your stupid smartphone? But I was taking care of babies. So Chu's much anticipated testimony comes, blah, blah, blah. I feel like it's all old now because I pulled this old article. So sorry about that. I should have updated that. Let's check out the Twitter.
Because I don't even know where you were in this. But no, it's all right. Let's go ahead and watch this because this goes back to what we were saying earlier, with the Hakeem Jeffries being the first person born to lead any kind of political party since World War II. Like, these are people, you have to understand, these are people who don't understand the internet, okay? These are people that are leading our country trying to say we need to ban something from the internet, but we don't understand the internet. And this is a perfect example. Now, I understand where this dude was going with it 100%. I understand it. But this was ridiculous. Y'all watch this.
Dude, does TikTok access the home Wi-Fi network?
Only if the user turns on the Wi-Fi. I'm sorry, I may not understand the.
So if I have a TikTok app on my phone and my phone is on my home Wi-Fi network, does TikTok access that network?
It will have to access the network to get connections to the internet, if that's the question.
Is it possible then that it could access other devices on that home Wi-Fi network?
Congressman, we do not do anything that is beyond any industry norms. I believe the answer to your question is no. It could be technical. Let me get back to you.
Okay, I'd appreciate it if you can answer that. Dude, just
all right. His face, dude. Just go back to the still frame of like his face, just like
which one? I mean, the entire thing. He's just like, I don't know what the fuck you talking about.
Like when he first asked that, can TikTok connect to my home internet? And he's just like, wait a minute.
That one?
Yeah, he's just like, bro, what are you talking about right now? Like, of course they can. If you hit your Wi-Fi, if you turn your Wi-Fi on, it's going to connect to your home internet. What are you talking about?
No, but I get what he was saying with this. It is actually in TikTok's terms of service. It is a thing that if you have it on your phone and you do connect to your Wi-Fi, they do actually have access to everything on that Wi-Fi account or on that Wi-Fi network. They do. It is in their terms of service. But the way he framed it was so incredibly dumb It's
It's
just
just
like,
like,
okay,
if I
so
if
can
I
it connect to
turn
the internet?
yeah, if I turn my Wi-Fi on, will TikTok use my Wi-Fi? Yes, of course it will. What are you talking about? Keep it off if you don't want it on there. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Because I think this senator or congressperson, excuse me, he goes on to say something along the lines of like, oh well, if you're banning it on a government device but you're still hooked up to the same internet, you know what I mean, like it doesn't really matter, because if the government device is in your home and it's connected to the internet, and the TikTok is in your home, it's connected to the internet and it can find it, blah blah blah. I think that's what he was getting at more so. But
Yeah,
like,
network
you
discoverability.
bro, like I don't know why it seems like none of these people got help with the questions that they were going to ask. Because if you don't know how the app actually works at all, like it's very clear, like none of them knew how the app worked. And I've watched like other highlights from this. And what frustrated me the most was like, okay, you're framing this as a national security threat, but yet you go off the rails and bring up like, kids being like safety on there in regards of like what kind of content they're being delivered and what kind of content kids are watching, and the stupid dangerous trends that are going on, which like one of them actually they bring up like this choking game that apparently took off on TikTok. But I was like, bro, like flashback, because when I was in middle school, that was a problem. Like,
Yeah.
all the girls were playing the choking game and like making themselves pass out, and this big whole thing, and they had to like sit us all down and be like, guys, you're gonna like self-delete yourself. Stop doing this. Like, this is super dangerous.
Well, when I was in school, there was a thing where you would take a hit of an herb, like a big hit, and hold your breath and crush your arms over your chest, and people would push on your chest, right? And you would hold it as long as you could. Once you exhaled, people would let go of you. Well, it made you instantly pass out. So yeah,
Yeah, no,
that's a
ours was
thing.
like not like, ours was like brutal. Like we were like, I'm not gonna, but yeah, no, we were like making it was all girls doing this too. It's like, so it just kind of cracked me up. It's like, yeah, we had like MySpace and like Live Journal, guys. This happens in every generation. Like it was just really interesting to me that it was it was making the rounds again, basically. If TikTok gets banned, who's to stop a similar app starting up in its place? Well, I mean, they don't even have to start an app. Like, they just have to change Instagram Reels or YouTube Shorts a little bit.
There's a name for that. Oh God.
Zonking. Wow. Okay. Are you Gen Z? Is that a
No,
thing?
but
Okay.
no, but going back to Stacy's point here, absolutely nothing. And this is the actual problem. This is my whole thought process on this is, number one, China has access to all of our information. Okay. Why is that a problem? Well, that's information that the US doesn't have.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. Now, here that's actually the reason why I brought that up, and that's an actual great segue into this little part, because dude knocks it out the park with this one. Y'all listen up.
As I said in the opening statement, our plan is to move American data to be stored on American soil by the American company.
I understand that, but you're sidestepping, or I haven't read anything in terms of TikTok, how you can actually say, and you spoke in your opening statement about a firewall relative to the data, but the Chinese government has that data. How can you promise that that will move into the United States of America and be protected here?
Congresswoman, I have seen no evidence that the Chinese government has access to that data. They have never asked us. We have not provided.
But you know what? I find that actually preposterous.
I have looked in. I have seen no evidence of this happening. And in order to assure everybody here and all our users, our commitment is to move the data into the United States to be stored on American soil by an American company, overseen by American personnel. So the risk will be similar to any government going to an American company asking for data.
Exactly.
Well,
Exactly
and
the
he brought
whole
up
point.
multiple times that they were going to be doing, like, they were also going to be working with like an independent company, and they were going to be reviewing all the practices and procedures and all that kind of stuff, and making sure that no funny business was going on, basically.
As I said
So
in
they
the
had like
statement,
they had all these proposed safeguards in place, and like what frustrated me the most during that entire hearing was the fact that they would ask him a question and then give him like 10 seconds to respond and then cut him off,
Yep.
and it would just kept
Like they
going like
always
that. Yeah, and it was like very clear that like this was already decided, before they even went into that the
And here's
hearing.
the whole
And
thing.
like they're not, it just frustrated me because it's like, I'm not trying to root for the CCP or whatever, but like at least give the man a chance to defend what his company, and like, you're threatening to ban it, and we have 150 million of their users, they want to keep it, like.
Well, all right. Here's the thing with that. Now he goes off into a later section of that. He does go off and to say, look, everything that we gather is nothing more than what, say, Facebook or Google or Twitter gathers. Every bit of that is the same. So you want to talk about how we have this data? You have the same data on your own people. What is
Yeah,
the
well,
difference?
and that's what I always come back to. I'm like, okay, guys, so you're mad about like to people, who are like, ban TikTok and ban this, and then tell them not to interrupt. Like, bro, yeah, exactly. Like, it was very frustrating watching this. And then again, I'm gonna just really drive this point home. They kept bringing it back to protecting kids while acting as if TikTok is supposed to parent children. Like, that
Yes.
pissed me off the most, is like they brought up parents of a kid who had self-deleted himself, which is absolutely tragic. And then like basically I think the line that I'm not laughing because of the situation, I'm not laughing at the way this guy said it. The line was like, he said, your company has destroyed this family's life. And it's like, no, that's not like, so you're trying to hold the CEO responsible while you sit here and say that like Facebook isn't responsible for the things that their people post, or like it's Section 230, like it protects the company. So I'm not sure why it's just because it's TikTok that they are trying to hold him responsible for things that people are seeing on the app in regards to some kind of stuff. Like, I don't know, it's just crazy. And like the way TikTok is so fast. They're so fast about taking down things that gets
Yes.
reported. Like, I
Yes.
don't know. Like, I don't know why, I don't know. The whole thing was just, it was a charade. It was a ruse. It was a public show. I think that's really all it was. It just irritated me. It's like, stop acting as if the government is supposed to do parents' jobs. Stop acting as if the CEO of TikTok is supposed to do the parents' jobs. Parents, I'm sorry, like, why is your kid on TikTok? Why does your child have
Yes.
unlimited access to the internet? Like, that irritates me. Like, because they brought up like 8-year-olds. Like, if you're an 8-year-old on TikTok, I'm like, why are you letting your 8-year-old on TikTok? That's the problem. Sorry, I'm like, I get really fired up about that.
It's the whole thing of like, it's a problem within parents themselves. Like, I'm not a parent myself, okay, but it is a problem within parents because we grew up with this technology coming into play, okay, so we were thrown these things, but our parents still wanted us to go outside and play until the street lights came on. Now, because
Yep.
we grew up wanting this, we grew up wanting that, our children are going through, well, you're screaming, you're crying. Here's a tablet, here's a phone, play. Nobody pays attention anymore. And that's a huge problem with that. We have a good portion of our society is growing up in front of a screen.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
Yeah.
disturbing as shit. Because
Well,
everybody
it's-
else, like, you got the Jeffrey Marsh walking around, kids, I want to talk to the kids. And he's skirting that line so nobody can really say anything. Nobody can play it out. But this dude literally has a Patreon where he talks about him and his husband bumping uglies,
Yeah.
and he
yeah.
wants the kids to go there.
Mhm.
And we're trying to call that out. And we're trying to let you guys know he's skirting that line. He's showing himself to be something without actually exposing altogether. But he's big on TikTok, and everybody fucking loves him. And
Well,
we got
it's
somebody
weird.
that we actually do respect that is actually defending the man.
Yeah, and I have I don't know. Like you can't defend somebody who is encouraging kids and vulnerable young people, not even necessarily like children, but like, teens or like 18, 19-year-olds who are more vulnerable, maybe more naive, who are having a rough time, who are specifically targeting vulnerable kids with bad families to then pull them off of a public app onto a private platform and talk to them. That is like, it's textbook grooming in so many different ways. It checks a lot of the boxes when you look at patterns and stuff like that. And it just really frustrates me that people are seeing that. But what are you going to do? Like, I think a lot of people defending him also just don't have kids. Like, that's the weird part too, is like, they want to believe that that's not what he's doing. I'm like, either way, if he was actually being honest, he wouldn't like keep doubling down. Like, he never addresses it. He never actually addresses it. He just keeps going. Like, that's a problem. Like, if you weren't trying to be creepy, like, you would think you would address this issue. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, there is a thing with that. And look, the whole Dylan Mulvaney coming up off TikTok, the Jeffrey Marsh coming off TikTok and everything like that. I get why they want it banned, but here is the real situation behind this. And I will defend TikTok. In this regard, I will defend TikTok. This platform is where we actually do get real information. Even with Elon Musk owning Twitter, shit is still cut from Twitter. I found the reason why I found the Florida Republican bill and all that we just rolled off onto is because my wife sent me a TikTok about it. And I was just like, okay, wait, that sounds fucking weird. Let's look into it. And apparently it is a real thing. We are sharing real information on that platform. There is a bunch of censorship going on, but that is actually not the company itself. That is the people on there, because they do have Discord set up where a whole bunch of them go in there. And as soon as something is flagged in a certain situation, because I set up an actual Discord for the same reason, to try to counteract that. Now, these people go on there, they have these Discords set up, and as soon as something is posted in there, like say, oh, this is harassment and bullying, everybody in that Discord goes in there and they flag that for that reason. Now, they also do have TikTok employees from Las Vegas, their office in Las Vegas, that go in there and they see these things in this Discord, in these Discords, and they do flag it. And they're like, okay, yeah, take it off, take it off, take it off. It's not TikTok doing it. It's people for that very reason.
It depends. Like, TikTok has definitely just shut off my ability to post and stuff like that really randomly. But no, like, I think it's really frustrating to me.
I've gotten
There's
things like accuracy and context or something like that. I've gotten hit for that.
I think you had said to me.
Just for posting screenshots of news articles. So there is a little bit going on from them, but it's more along the lines of the actual people on there, because the crazies run that shit.
Yeah. No, I think what frustrates me the most is that this has brought up a lot of talks, right? And I was talking to people on Twitter earlier today, and so many people are like, ban TikTok, ban all the social media platforms, ban. And I was like, okay, this is the problem. This is a problem where you want to complain about government overreach, but when you support government overreach, then you're fine with them doing it. But the minute that they do something you don't like, well, then it's the government overreach. Like, you can't pick and choose what you want the government to control in that regard. Like, you have to like actually stand by your principles. I don't know. This seems crazy, I know, but it's like, to me, TikTok being banned would then give them the doorway. And there's a lot of different factors to this. I completely understand that. I completely understand there are people who legitimately think that this is a national security risk, right? Right. But there is a problem in that, because the government will use that national security risk and apply it to other platforms or people or accounts or whatever, which is actually happening. But I need to go in and like read that bill. It's called the Restrict Act. So maybe we should cover it next week. But
Okay.
so I didn't have a chance at all to look at it. And I didn't want to like just dive in, not knowing literally anything about it. So information seems to be passed along by a sort of mouth to mouth method. Again, these days, traditional media has failed us. Yeah. And it really has, because it's full of a bunch of bullshit. It doesn't matter which side you go on. Both sides are padded. And, there are certain media outlets that are right-leaning that I do trust more so than left-leaning, because left-leaning has just proven, like CNN and MSNBC, like they've all just literally proven that they publish outright lies. But it happens on the right too, on the right-leaning media. So
I mean, Fox News is an example of that. I mean, shit,
Yeah.
during the election, Fox News called a state for Biden at 17% of all voting tallies coming in. They're just like, oh, Biden won. How the hell do you know that? So yeah, Fox News does it too. Don't get it twisted. They're
yeah,
not the
Fox
end
News
all be
definitely
all
does
with
it.
it.
You know what I love? I love using Ground News, like the app Ground News, because
Yeah,
it's
everything you
it's
send me comes from that.
Yeah, like it's so perfect. It's so good. And I like subscribed to it the other day, because I was like, I just want to see how good the subscription is, because it tells you so much more stuff. It tells you like level of factuality, like like the is that, I think that's what's called, factuality. It doesn't sound like a real word when I say it out loud, so it's one of those weird ones. But it tells you all kinds of, it tells you the bias level. It shows you can scroll through and read the same article from a bunch of different publications and compare and contrast. And I love it. I think it's great. And it's always got like new stuff. So I don't know if anyone's struggling with any of that. Ground News is a perfect place, because it helps you compare stories and see what everybody is saying about it, which is really nice. But yeah.
It does show, like, when a story comes up, you can look into it and see like a left-leaning bias, how far the left-leaning goes, right-leaning, how far, centers, what people are saying. It gives you an outreach to say, okay, so like CNN, okay, far left because of the extremist bullshit they push. This is over here, and absolutely nothing in right wing is saying anything about this because it's all bullshit. Same with the right. The right news is saying all this, and it's outlandish and hell, but nothing else is saying about this because it's all bullshit.
Yeah.
It is actually a great way of kind of at least trying to center yourself to see what's
Yep.
really out there.
No, it is a really nice way to do it. Sorry, I'm trying to put, you never put the links in the description for the shows, so I have to go in after the fact and put the links in the description.
I don't have, look, I am a manager on yours, but when I set these things up, I cannot change the description
Really?
at all.
That's weird.
So it's always going to be the same thing. So you'll have to go in after the fact for all of that. But while we are on that, let's give this, and I want to get your little take on this, Ashley. And I'm going to bring you full screen as well. I will be listening.
Why?
But
No, don't bring my full screen. I don't like that.
yeah.
It's too much. It's too weird. It is true.
Oh
that
no,
humans
you're gonna
free
have
will
to, because I got to go to the bathroom.
Okay, fine. Hi. Hello. Nice and close, aren't we? I don't know why. I just hate being. Let's see. I'm German. Exactly the same problem with media around here. Only the few right-leaning newspapers seem trustworthy. Yeah, I'm much more willing to. I think like written publications are much better than like watching the news. So like like an article written by like Fox News and an article written by CNN are going to be a bit better than the talking heads intermingling their opinion in with it. That's kind of my take. It's always what I kind of go to. It's hard sometimes to like sit there and read the news though. I already read this. Went too far back. You know what I hate? I hate the hate. You know what I hate? I hate the hate for the Daily Wire. I understand certain things, but saying that Matt Walsh and Brett are just bad just because they are part of the Daily Wire. I love Daily Wire. So I was paying for it for a long time. And then we were cutting some subscriptions out a little bit. So I stopped paying for them for the moment.
How were you going to skip over Shauna's thing here? This is what I wanted to. Yeah, you did. I put that up and then walked away, and you're just like, nah, we're done.
I read half. Did I not read the other half? I read half of it. It is true that humans have free will to do whatever they want. However, not everything is good for you. Yeah, for sure. Everything in moderation. And that's the problem. Okay. That's the problem. People can't moderate themselves, bro. Okay? That's the issue here.
There you go. There's my wife.
Ah, thanks. You're adorable too. I'm really bad at taking compliments.
But yeah, it's all right. With TikTok, honestly, I wouldn't care either way. Like, it is such a problem on that app because the crazies have taken it over. But then again, a lot of real information comes off of that app. If you were to take it away, we would have a huge blind spot as far as, you know, the news is concerned, the things that are going on. I mean, East Palestine, you know, that whole situation blew up because of TikTok.
Yeah.
You know, that would have been silenced if it weren't for TikTok. However, if we didn't have TikTok, we wouldn't have people like Dylan Mulvaney. So
no, we would have them. Like, we would still have them. Like, that's the frustrating
not
part.
as much.
So TikTok, the amazing part of TikTok is that anyone has the ability to like go viral, get a huge following off of like practically like nothing. You can basically like you can have one really good video and you can get thousands of followers just off that. You know, like the other platforms is a bit harder, but it's still possible because Jeffrey Marsh has a huge following on Instagram. Jeffrey, you know, like Dylan Mulvaney has a huge following in other places. And it's just you can do it way faster on TikTok than anywhere else. Usually, I don't know. I'm bigger on YouTube than I am on TikTok, and I started TikTok months before my YouTube. And then like TikTok just hates me, so I'm only at like I'm about to hit like 80K on there. And I think
TikTok hates anybody that actually speaks the truth. But you got people like Tom Powell Jr. who just says whatever Trump hating shit that goes on, and yeah, it takes the fuck off.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just really weird. And it is very true. They definitely pump up certain types of rhetoric over others and like certain types of viewpoints over others. But I don't know. At the same time, like my algorithm is pretty finely tuned. So it's like I have to go looking for certain types of video. Like I have to go looking for the woke videos. They don't typically run across my screen. But
I would admit though, my wife, like she uses TikTok a lot. My wife actually really comes across videos that would kind of play into my field, and when she does, it kind of knocks it out the park with some of the content kind of things. But she's curated hers to the point to where like she only comes across them in like every 30, 40, 50 videos kind of thing.
Yeah.
Maybe I might be reaching a little bit. Maybe it's a little bit less than that. But yeah, you can curate your feed to show you whatever you want to, but there's always going to be that random thing that just pops up. And that's the dangerous part, you know, especially with kids who might be just feeling some type of way someday, come across some crazy lunatic you've interacted with a lot of crazy lunatics who's just like, hi, I'm demon self pronouns. This is how we use it. And then all of a sudden the kid's just like, that sounds cool because I want to be a demon. It is that thing, you know?
It's so crazy, man. Like, I don't know. The app, what frustrates me is there's good and bad with everything, right? So the app has some really, really great aspects to it, has really great creators, has very creative people. Tom Powell should end up, I don't know, Tom Powell should end up like Brooks from Shawshank. Oh, it's been so long since I saw Shawshank. Or read the book.
Yeah, I tend to have to agree. Davey's trying to do something here.
Yeah, I don't remember it well enough. I know the premise of the movie. But anyway, no, like what frustrates me the most is like there are just really, really talented people who make really cool videos. There's artists, there are singers, there are, a million small businesses. It's not just a bunch of dumb stuff all the time. And that's what frustrates me is people treat it as if it's just so stupid. It's rotting your brain. It's doing this, it's doing that. Well, yeah, if you're watching the wrong content and you're spending way too long on the app, of course, like I have to limit myself when it comes to short form content. Like I've had to like stop watching TikTok and I only watch YouTube shorts like, a couple times a day, basically, if I want to, or if something pops up and I want to watch it, it interests me. But other than that, like, I'm like, I can't do this anymore because my attention span was just being warped. Like it was getting really bad. So,
Yeah.
But that's what self-moderation is for.
I mean, when you're literally pulling, like, okay, when you're literally pulling cables like I do, network cables and security cables, and you literally just like, I got a second. Let's look at this, and then you're on there for 5-6 minutes, and everybody's screaming at you. It is a problem. I've had to fight it myself, and I've had to put that away because of that. Because it's just like, dude, I've been waiting here for you to pass this cable. Well, that cable's been sitting there for 5 minutes. What the hell are you doing? Oh,
my bad. Yeah, it's really easy to get lost in those. It really is. Like they're endless. You can just keep going forever. Ashley uses a screen time app on her electronics. Oh, no, I don't. I don't look at those like ever. It's built into like my phone. And so back in the day, I when I watch YouTube, I turn my screen off and I just listen to it. And I listen to a bunch of podcasts and stories and stuff like that. And it was getting to like crazy. It was like I'm talking like 15 hours a day when the kids were like itty bitty babies. And that's all I was doing was like listening to that and taking care of them and taking care of the house and stuff like that. So like it was really I listen to Audible a lot now.
There is a point to this, and I want to bring this up. Stacy asked, does the good outweigh the bad or the other way around? I'm gonna feel honestly, I feel the good does outweigh the bad, but maybe that's because when I was on TikTok, my feed was curated to that point. But you also have people like, what's his name, Mr. Ballin. He came up off just like TikTok, just these, hey, this happened, and then he turned it into long form content. And this dude literally goes deep dives into these weird stories and these things that actually truly happened, and his videos are amazing. And he came up from TikTok itself, and he's not into like cultural or political things. It's just weird stories that he's come across.
Yeah, that's the thing about it too, is like a lot of people that are very, very well known came up on TikTok and like started even like just dipping their toes into content creation, doing that. And I think that's actually a really interesting thing to note, just because like long form content creation is really intimidating. It's really hard to do, but like TikTok is super easy. You just start doing it and you figure it out and you get more comfortable and you see like, oh, people are really interested in what I'm doing or what I'm saying or whatever. And it gives you the motivation to like go for the long form content. And then it also just provides you, like I post my TikToks to my shorts, and then I make shorts on and now I'm like editing my own shorts. So like, evolving and learning new things. And some people think it's stupid, but it's like, these are actually like valuable skills right now. So
it definitely is. And the way you have changed your content from the start, especially with YouTube. Like you go back and watch like one of her first videos, and then you come back and watch her latest one. Your skills have grown from that, and it is amazing. And I'm proud as hell to watch that actually go because you were doing it yourself. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I hope I've gotten better. Like I would hope. Like I
you
have really
definitely
high goals, and it's hard to get there. Like I don't know what I'm doing.
yeah. Also, Lower Lounge, the Aiden brothers. Yeah, they started off TikTok as well, and they have created an amazing ass channel. They again, it's just weird things that they just sit there and talk about and tell you about like Bigfoot in the woods kind of situations. And to actually take this kind of thing away from people, whether it be political, cultural, historical, anything like that, to take it away from people would be a bad thing because then again, the only thing we have to go back to is the normal Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, the curated things that government has been shown to have a hand in with the Twitter files and everything that's going on. To take that away would literally hinder us to actually know what's actually happening. But if you take it away, would this trans thing have been such a big issue?
It would have. It still would have. People are literally like, I understand TikTok is primarily used by young people in the sense of it compared to the other apps, compared to like YouTube and Instagram and stuff like that. TikTok is like it, but like it's everywhere. It's still everywhere. It's still all over the place. What's up, man? If them get banned, that would be great. I think it's a funny troll for the bill.
It is.
But it's not like it's not going to go anywhere. And B, I don't actually think it's a good idea to eliminate a political party in that sense, like you're not allowed to be here anymore. Like obviously it's more nuanced than that, and Democrats are just going, oh look, you're fascist. You only want one party state. Yeah. It's like that's not the point of it. It's honestly, I think it's just to mess with them. But yeah, no, like I wouldn't actually like support Florida being like, no more other parties, just Republicans. They'd be like, okay, that's too far, guys. You're getting crazy.
And mind you, that would definitely be only in that state, which would cause a huge problem come, federal elections type situation. In 49 of the states, you're Democrat, but in that one state, you're falafel. It's not going to make sense. So it's not going anywhere. It would be funny as hell to see, but it would be confusing for everyone. So it's not going anywhere.
I wonder if the guy who drafted it just wanted to get himself in the headlines. Like I'm gonna make.
It was a woman. It was a woman who did it.
Oh, I thought it was a man.
No, it was a woman.
No, see, what are women anyway? Who knows? Nobody knows what a woman is. It's just like this malleable thing. Anyway, I think that's what we have for the YouTube segments anyway. So
yes.
we're gonna go ahead and switch over to the Rumble. That's Rumble. Sorry, I'm weird. So if you guys want to follow us over there, and we'll check out these videos of Fauci getting wrecked by people.
He gets destroyed.
Yeah. So.
And there's a lot of funny things that actually happen in this. Now to give a little recap, this comes from a documentary that. These clips come from a documentary that he let go out there for some reason I don't understand. And I'll never, like, the dude has devotional candles to himself. So why these clips got out there it's weird. But y'all need to check this out. Go over to Rumble. We'll see you all over there. Let's rip Fauci a new asshole with this. All right. So I'm going to give it a little 30-second countdown again, and we will cut the YouTube feed. Y'all got the link to Rumble. Follow us over there, and Let's have some fun.